Hello guys, welcome to this episode. I'm oluwafemi-emmanuel. This is Wisdom a podcast. It's my pleasure to be here on this episode. For today, we have a special guest. And we'll be talking on an amazing topic, which is life as an orphan. Let's go for a short break before I disclose my guest today. Alright, before I introduce my guest, I would love to tell us the topic we'll be discussing today. We'll be talking about life as an orphan, and my guest is fully loaded to dish out to us every bit of the discussion. Just stay tuned. If you're an orphan, you can recommend this podcast to people you know around, or if you are one, this episode is for you. Stay tuned.
You were worthy to be praised. You are awesome in this.
So right now, I want to unveil my guest. I want to introduce my guest in the house. So, okay, can we please meet you?
Hey guys, my name is oluwafemi-emmanuel. I am a student of UHI, University of Ibadan, Affiliation to Square Delation, a 300 level student, studies Christian religious studies. And I'm glad to be on this show, glad to share my experience as an orphan. Thank you.
All right, like I said, she's fully loaded to dish to us amazing content. All right, she's an orphan and she's experienced. She knows what it is, so that's why I brought her on the show today. So I would start with okay, can you just tell us a bit of your experience as an orphan? What can you say about your experience since you are a victim?
Okay, no one prayed to be one. I mean, no one prayed to lose his or her parents. But when I say unfortunately for me, it happened, and that was not the end of the world. We just have to keep pushing through, even though it's not easy. It wasn't easy. I lost my parents years back, precisely now 15 years ago, and I was still very, very much a child. I had no knowledge, but I had to take up responsibility since I was the first child for my other siblings as well. It wasn't easy. Other families had to make decisions for us, even though we aren't pleased with it, but we just had to go with the decisions being made by the family. A lot of times they had to choose, in fact, what we did not want, but because we had no one to fight for us or to speak against those things, we had no voice. We just had to follow. But in everything, God has a way of making things out. God has a way of sorting us out. And then I would say I was actually it was a bad experience, but I'm glad I went through it, and I'm sharing the experience here with us today, and I'm happy I was able to go through that phase because it trained me to who I am today.
Wow. All right, having said that, okay, I hope someone is getting something right away. So having said that, I would love to ask, or should I ask that, can you really say you've gained one or two things in this experience? Can you say it's a good experience, and have you been able to discover yourself? Can you really say this experience brought this out, this version of me out? What can you say about that?
Well, like I said earlier, it's not a good experience, but it happened, and one has to just be responsible for. I just had to be responsible for my life. I would say it's good, because if it wasn't for the experience, I would not know that I had some potentials, or I had some things or ability in me that I could. I had no knowledge. In fact, I had no knowledge that I would stand up for my siblings as the elder one and fight for them. I never knew I was this strong until I had to go through this phase. I used to see myself as a weakling, like I can't make decisions, I can't do this, I had to depend on my parents. But it happened, and I had to stand to my feet. I had to learn to fight. learn to work, learn to make decisions on my own. So I would say it helped me to bring out who I am, my identity, the things that I can do without my parents being around.
Well, so okay, how has decision making been since then? How can you really say making decision on your own is an advantage, or you prefer someone to make decision on your behalf, even as an orphan?
Well, making decision on my own hasn't been easy, because there are times that you would need the space of those parents around you. You see, there are things that you know that we as children will have to learn from them. So it hasn't been easy trying to make decision on my own, trying to put myself in the shoe of my mom or my dad, especially for my siblings. It hasn't been easy at all. But anyway, I just had to do it, This decision making hasn't been easy. I will not lie. It is not easy to decide, especially when you're even a first child like I am, to decide, okay, what your siblings might need, or what they might be going through, or what you need to supply to them, or what you even have to do for yourself. Decision making hasn't been easy. I will not lie. It hasn't been easy though.
Wow. So, okay, how about a situation you make a decision, you are not even sure whether you have made the right decision or the wrong one? How do you feel? How are you able to forge ahead of that kind of decision? What will you do?
Okay, I'm this fearful type. Like I get scared even before I make decision. At times I'll have to cry, I have to seek other people's opinions, seek help, so that to be sure that I'm not making a wrong decision. And even at times when I'm sure that, okay, this decision is right, and yet I am still tensed because I'm scared. I don't want my decision to affect anyone around me, especially my siblings. I'm always conscious of that. I don't want my decisions to affect them at all. So there was one time I was asking God, am I sure I'm taking the right path? Am I sure? But in all, I just had to trust God. I just had to trust God with all I have, that, okay, God, this decision, I'm entrusting it in your hand, that even if it is wrong, I trust you to make it right for me.
All right. Wow, that's great. So before I proceed with my questions, I would love to go on a short break. See you right back.
We'll never ever know defeat. Here and now, where the line.
Right, welcome back to the show. Yeah, to my guests, I would love to ask, can you mention about 2 or 3 effects, whether psychological, physical, whatever effect of being an orphan? What can be traced to it as an effect?
Well, for me, number one thing is emotional instability. I am still in the process of recovering. Someone who says 15 years ago, I am still in the process. Yes, it hasn't been easy, because I remember when I was in secondary school, when it is PTA meeting or open day, and parents will come and there is no one to show up for me. I'll feel bad, and I'll almost burst into tears because I don't have anyone around to stand there for me. Even up till now, I'll just feel like, okay, I just needed a mother-to-daughter conversation. It's really, the feeling is really, really not a very good one, and that's one of the effects on a child. It is very difficult to recover from that. And then loneliness, there is that gap that cannot be filled. The gap of your parents. Only God can fill that up. It is not easy. Nobody can be like your mom, even if she's worse. Nobody can be like your dad, even if he's nothing to write about. They are still the best, and they are still part of your life. So when they are not there, there's this emptiness, there's this loneliness around you that you feel like, okay, there is nobody to talk to concerning this, nobody to share knowledge with. So emotional instability, loneliness is one of those effects on orphans.
All right, emotional stability and loneliness, and so on and so forth. Because of our time, we will not be able to mention some more. All right, let's go on a short break, and I will proceed with my question.
by the powers of the years to come, and we will never ever know defeat. By the powers of the years to come, we are up ahead, and the world and the
Alright, welcome back to the show. So right away, I would love to ask, okay, you've listed about 2 problems, emotional instability and loneliness. So if I may ask, how have you been able to cope so far so that you can reach out to orphans out there?
It hasn't been easy, and if trying to cope on your own will not work out, because before you know it, you fall into depression. One thing that helped me was God gave me, I will not say I chose them, God gave me good people around me. God gave me good friends that knew they could read my emotions. They knew when I'm going through a tough time, and they were there to help me. So one major way of solving the problem of loneliness and emotional instability is getting the right people around you. I mean, the right friends, people that will stand in for you, feel what you feel. Yes, they are not in your shoes, so they don't know how you feel, but yet they have a glimpse. I mean, they understand your pain, and they are ready to help out in whatever you are going through. That was one thing that really helped me. I had people that rose up for me, able to hear me out and providing solutions.
Wow, if I would understand, she mentioned the issue of relationship. Relationship is key. Don't keep to yourself. If you're in that shoe, if you're in that same shoe, make sure you are surrounded with right people. Seek for people, or probably you can even seek for advice, but not just looking for people around, but the right people around you. All right, I would love her to say 1 or 2 words to orphans out there. Shout out to them. What do you have to say to them? What encouragement do you have for them?
Okay, to every orphans out there, you are not alone. Whether you have no parents or no siblings, or you are born alone, just remember that you are not alone. Firstly, God knows about your situations. He knows that you don't have no parents, you have no siblings, or you have a siblings, you don't have parents. God is aware of everything, and He is capable of taking care of you even without your parents. He has been taking care of me for the past 15 years, and I am glad that I know Him. So if you are here to build your intimacy with God, you should do that, because that's the number 1, the first way out. And then number 2 is believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. In your parents cannot determine your future anyways, so whether they are there or not, you still have your potential. They did not go away with your potential, so you have what can make good life out of you. So believe in yourself, encourage yourself. Encourage yourself. I mean, if there's no one out there to cheer up yourself. Make sure you are up and doing. Yes, be responsible. That's it. Take responsibility of yourself. Do things, creative things that can engage you and shift your gaze from the aspect of being lonely, or you have no one, you have no help, and before you know it, you'll be where you dream of. I mean, the sky will be your starting point. There is no limitation to you because you're an orphan. There is no limitations because you're an orphan. There is nothing like you don't have a good life. There is life even being an orphan.
Thank you very much. All right, thank you for listening to this episode. Thank you for this opportunity. Thanks for coming. I want to appreciate everyone who is listening. Recommend this podcast to 1 or 2 persons. Thank you. Say goodbye to listeners.
Right, goodbye, and thanks for listening. Thank you.